Thank you, Pastor Kevin, for having me lead where you are. I need to say I'm a product of someone who led where she was. Some of you know my story. At the age of 10, due to the challenges in my family, I ran away from home and I was in the streets of Johannesburg for 5 years. A woman picked me up at the age of 15 and she took me, embraced me. I was taught how to read at the age of 15. And what you see today, it's a product of somebody who said, I will make a difference in my community. And to God be the glory for all that. I can definitely, identify with what Craig has just been talking about. Consistency. Whatever you see today, it is not just a miracle, but it has been a lot of hard work over the years. Finishing matric at the age of 22 was never easy. After you have damaged your brains with alcohol, glue, drugs, anything that you can think of, to a point that I lost a bit of a speech. I was even a slow learner. Even in matric, I could not even put, a paragraph in English. So whatever you see this morning, it has been a work of many years under the influence of many people. One person who helped me a lot, it was Dr. Miles Monroe. I followed him a lot. I remember when he said, whether you are a CEO or you are a leader or you are a parent or you are a pastor, you must live to make a difference to those around you. Those words kept me going for years. Wherever I go, I want to make a difference. I'm talking to you this morning under the topic, next level leadership. Next level leadership, that is what I am talking about. I would want you to note these 5 points. I call them nuggets. Whatever you miss in what I'm going to talk about, make sure you grab this. Nuggets, it's like the movie that they show you the end from the beginning. They show you the end from the beginning and they go back and they start acting. It does not matter what happened in between. You know how the movie is going to end. So I'm asking you, grab the end of the movie. If you miss me in between, I speak in Zulu, Siswati, at least you know what's going to happen at the end, even if you miss it. Here is the first thing. The level you are in determines the life you live. That is the fact. The level you are in determines the life you live. You live the way you live today, it is because you have decided to say, I'm going to be at this level. Think about it. Number 2, we live and behave according to the level we live in or we in. We live and behave according to the level we choose to be in. If you are a toddler, you're going to behave like a toddler. Nobody's going to expect you to behave like a teenager if you are a toddler. Nobody's going to offer you a meat if you are a toddler. They will treat you according to the level that you are in. Sometimes we fight people and say, why are you treating me like this? The big question is, how did you represent yourself or present yourself before the people? Because you get what you give. Number 3, you can't lead people to a level you have never been. You can't lead people to the level you have never been. In a nutshell, you cannot give what you don't have. You must never expect people to behave in the level that you have never been. Because whatever you are, that is what people will draw from you. You can't lead people to a level you have never been. Number 4, Number 4, every next level of your life will demand a different version of you. Every next level of your life will demand a different version of you. Over the years, I have seen people want to go to the next level and to lead at the next level with the same capacity they had, 5 years ago. They want to grow, a great organization, but you look at them, they have never invested, in their lives, yet they want to lead at the greater stage. It's not going to happen. The higher you go, you need to make sure you build yourself. I knew over the years that God wanted to take me to another level, but I could not keep on giving an excuse to say I was taught how to read at the age of 15. Please understand, my brain will be damaged. People, they don't want to hear that. They can accept that the first day, but 5 years later, they want to see the improvement. You can't keep on hiding, on your past and your past experiences. Today, they'll accept you. The next year, they want you to be better. It does not work like that in leadership. You need to become a better version of you every day of your life. And the final one, you always get tested the most before you progress to the next level. Before you get to the next level, understand you're going to be tested the most. Don't desire the next level if you are not prepared to pass the test of today. Because before you go to the next level, you need to be tested. That is my story. That is my story of today. Let's look at something that we can use as an inspiration today. Here is the study case, or the case study of everybody. People, they love this case study. I was there a few weeks ago. We're actually trapped in Dubai. And then when the war broke, thank God that I'm here today. I nearly missed this session because we were trapped there. But it's a case study that I want us to look at it because we love this place, and then we can take some principle of leadership. I want you to look at the first photo. This is Dubai in 1970. In 1970, this is Dubai. And I want you to see that road there. 1970, I was just born in 1971. And this story resonates with my spirit very well. And look at the next photo, Dubai in 1990. This is Dubai in 1990. Just 4 years before we got our liberation in South Africa. This is how Dubai was. And they were actually told in 1990 that the oil that you have is not going to sustain you and then for the rest of your lives. What are you going to do? They only had 2 resources, water and the desert, when they were told that the oil is not going to sustain you. Look at the following picture as well. Dubai in 2003. They never stopped. They continued to grow. Look at that. Look at the following picture as well. Dubai in 2007. Do we have another one? Dubai in 2012. When they were told there's not enough oil, they decided with the water and the desert that we have, we're going to take the sand, we're going to put it in the water, we're going to perform a miracle in that. We know people, they love water and they love islands. We're going to build something for ourselves, and people will come and build our economy. That is what they've started doing. Look at the following picture. This is one of the first hotels that was built in the Palm Juran, and built by a South African who has passed away now, Sol Kesner. That was the first hotel. I did not just took a picture and I went there in person. if I may brag a little bit, I was in that hotel. I wanted to see it for myself. I said, it's not enough just to pray about it. It's not enough just to hear about it. Let me just go and see that miracle. Because if I want to be a leader to another level, I need to learn. That is what I've discovered. They've never stopped there. They've never stopped there. Look at the last two pictures. Look at the last two. That's the last one. Do you remember when I said that road? You remember the road right from the beginning? Now look at what Dubai has done in the past 50 years. This is what Dubai has done in the last 50 years. Now, when they ask the shade of Dubai, they say, how did you achieve this? How possible is this? This is what he said. Listen to this. He said, we in the UAE, roll it down, please. This is Mohammed Rashid. He said these words. He said, we in the UAE have no such word as impossible. It does not exist in our vocabulary. He says, such a word is used by the lazy and the weak who fear challenges and progress. I want to put a challenge, especially to Christians, because we are very quick to say, he's a Muslim, he's a Muslim. But look what he says. He says, we in the UAE have no such word as impossible. It does not exist in our vocabulary. Such a word, I love that. He says, such a word is used by the lazy and the weak who fear challenges and progress. He goes on, listen. He says, to me, the desert was not an obstacle, problem, or a challenge, a challenge to be overcome, but an opportunity to create a new sector in the country's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are going to lead in the next level, we need to make sure that we are not cowards. We need to make sure that the word impossible is taken out of our vocabulary. If we can begin to think like that, we can change our environment, we can change our country, we can change, whatever the circumstances that we are facing. We don't have an excuse. We don't have an excuse. It doesn't matter, where we are in the world. If these people have done it with 2 resources, later on they discovered oil, but all that they've achieved, it was through the sand and the water, and they transformed that nation. Here are the 6 qualities, of leading to the next level. If you may write them down. How do you lead or how do you become a next level leader? Number 1, I strongly believe you need to become a next level leader. You must make a decision of becoming a next level leader. A leader that is prepared to step into the unknown. Most of the time, we don't want to start something that somebody has not started. We don't want to step into the unknown. Most of the time, we ask ourselves, who has done this before? Before I tried. We always want a point of reference. I remember when we started our church in South Africa, we're actually the first black church to start a church in a suburb. Our own people said to me, where have you seen this? There are no black churches in town. You can't do that because we are scared to step into the unknown. I want to put it to you that the other synonym of the word leadership is the word pioneer. You must be prepared to be a pioneer. If you call yourself a leader and you are not prepared to pioneer something, the definition of leadership is not complete. Sure. Leaders are leaders because they are pathfinders. You must find the path for those that you are leading. So you need a next level leader, a fearless leader, somebody who says, I will find the path for my people. Second quality, you need to be or to have a next level vision. How do you become a next level leader? You need a next level vision. What does that mean? The ability to see beyond circumstances. The ability to see beyond the now. Our problem as human beings, we love camping into the now. We love celebrating the past. I've been in a serious problem with my government, and when I'm beginning to challenge them, I said, guys, we thank God for liberation, but we can't keep on camping on the liberation. We had a serious debate, last week, when we were raising some statues of our own leaders, spending millions and millions building statues of our own leaders. I said, it's okay to celebrate the past, but other people are preparing for the future. We can't camp in the past. We can't spend millions, for the past. Let us spend millions for the future. While we are celebrating, the past, let me tell you, I went to the Future Museum in Dubai. I was shocked when they were telling us, about the Vision 2071. Vision 2071. They were showing us that this is what will be happening in 2071. When I just landed, and then I had a discussion with my leaders. I said, can you believe it? These guys, they are talking about 2071. And then one government leader said, we're not going to be alive. I said, typical South African. He was not impressed about 2071. If you are a leader, listen to me. Next level leaders plan in decades, think in years, work in months, live in days, celebrate in moments. You cannot be a leader, which I call a grapeless or a seedless leader. You know those grapes without seeds? Seedless grapes. Don't be that type of a leader. I've said that before. Because those grapes were never created by God. They were created by Checkers, Woolworths. Because everything that God created comes with the seeds. So that when you eat, you leave the seeds for the next generation. But seedless grapes, when you eat everything. You don't think about the next generation. Don't be that type of a leader. You eat and leave something for the next generation. So you plan in decades, you think in years, you work in months, you live in days, you celebrate in moments. Those are visionary leaders. Number 3, you need to be or to have a next level thinking, shifting from past fixed mindset to a proactive or forward thinking mindset. I love what Albert Einstein said one day. He said, we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. What a statement. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Africa, my brothers and sisters, we need to have a different way of thinking. If we are going to take this nation to another level, if we are going to take Africa to another level, if we are going to take your organization to another level, your thinking must be totally different. You can't use the very same thinking that created the problems. If we want to get out of the problems that we are in, it might be an organization in the nation, you need to think in a different way. You need to think in a different way. In a simple tense, I'm saying to you, think generational. Think about the next generation. Ask yourself, when I am gone, what is it that I'm leaving behind? I'm still saying, you don't eat everything. You don't consume everything. great leaders, they think about the next generation. Number 4, I call this a next level appetite. You must have a next level appetite, an appetite for more. In my notes here, I said it's an appetite that exceeds personal gain and extend towards God's purposes for people, communities, and generations. It goes beyond your personal aspiration. It goes beyond your personal ambitions. But this appetite exceeds personal gain, extend towards God's purposes for people, communities, and generations. A beautiful story. It's not just written, but this is a real story of a man by the name of George Washington Carver. I'll ask the team to bring that photo, up front. This man, George Washington Carver, listen, he was born in 1864 and then he died in 1943. He was an American slave in Missouri, a farmer who produced, listen to this, he produced cotton and peanuts. As a Christian farmer and a scientist at the same time, he prayed every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, in his laboratory, and asking God to reveal the more beyond the peanuts he produced. George was not content to eat the product. He wanted to know the more of a peanut. He dreamed beyond eating. Now, this is the type of a prayer that he prayed. He said, Lord, why did you make the peanut? Which some of us, we don't do that. When we've got a product, we just think of consuming. Let me just be blunt with you guys, especially as black folks. We just want to eat. We don't want to think about tomorrow. Even our businesses, white folks, you guys are blessed in that because even your companies is going to be Johnson & Johnson, Roberts and Sons, and have you ever seen Kosana Navandran? It does not work like that. It is Kosana and it's Kosana alone. My children, they must find their own way, of getting better. Because our mind is more of a consumer. I just want to consume. So he prayed. He says, Lord, show me what is more in this peanut. And then this guy tells us, he says, God guided me to find over 300 uses for the peanut, such as peanut butter, peanut milk, cheese, caramel, plastics, glue, oil, gasoline. The list is bottomless. In a peanut, he found 300 uses of a peanut. But if it was you and I, which we are still doing that, we are still eating the peanut, we don't see beyond. You guys, the Tsonga people, the Shangani people, that is where I'm coming from. We love peanuts, and we just eat peanuts. We don't see anything beyond that. But this is what, when they ask him, how did you discover that? He said, God guided me to understand the peanut composition. He said, this is what God said, separate the peanut into water. You crush the peanut, you separate into water, fats, oil, sugars, starches, and amino acid. It's amazing that when you crush this thing, you realize that there are many products. He says, now, using my science law, or the law of science, he says, then I had to recombine these under 3 laws of science. Compatibility. Which elements can work together here? And then put them into temperature and pressure. And he says, when I did that, 300 uses for the peanuts were born. And I've realized that many leaders, they don't want to go through pressure. That is why we can't produce more. We want to remain in the same place. And I've also realized that we don't want heat or temperature. When things are hot, We don't want to go through that. We always want an easy way. But with George Washington Carver, being a slave, but he produced so much. Today, I am honoring him even today because of what he has done. He decided to lead, take leadership to another level. I'm saying to you, that is how we lead our people and our organization. You have to be crushed as a leader so that more can come from you to benefit those who are following you. Would you please tell somebody next to you, you know I'm a pastor, I love doing this. You don't consume everything. This takes me to point number 5, quality number 5. A next level courage. A next level courage. A courage that confronts the status quo. What is the status quo of the day? I love this quotation, just for God who wrote this quote. But this person says, a ship in harbor is safe. That is John Shedd. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. I love that. A ship in harbor. I think by now you know that's my favorite quote. A ship in harbor is safe, but a ship was never built to be at the harbor, to be at the safe zone. An aeroplane, it is safe on the ground, but an aeroplane was never built to be at the airport. Can I speak to a leader a little bit? You were never born as a leader to be on the safe zone. You were never born to be at the harbor. That boat was built to face the storms, to face the waves, to face the challenges, to ride beyond the mountains, to fly beyond the mountains. That is the role of a leader. A leader is not supposed to be on the comfort zone. You need to push the boundaries. You need to be a pathfinder for the people. Never on the safe zone. Pioneers were never on the safe zone. Can you imagine of the guy who came up with a bulb? We are told that he failed 99 times. 999 times. He got it right, when he came to 1,000. Can you imagine if that guy was a Swati man? And you must go and tell your wife and say, where Mage? I failed 100 times. But he did not stop. He continued. Break boundaries. I don't know the boundaries that you need to break. But remember, as a leader, you were never created to be on the safe zone. A next level of service. A next level of service. You shift from here and now service to there and then service. Let me say that again. A next level service simply means you shift from here and now service to there and then service. Give a service that will last. Don't just rush things. Don't just sell a product if you are selling a product and forget about tomorrow. You don't do that. You don't do that. But you give a service that will last. You go back to George Washington, this is what he said. He says, true success is determined by one's contribution to others, not material wealth or status. Don't think about self, but think about the next generation. Give a service that will last. Surely I need to give you a scripture as a minister. The Bible says, now David served the purpose of God in his own generation, and he fell asleep. Be that type of a person and say, I want to serve my generation so that even if I am no more, my works will remain and will continue to impact the people. Or should I put it like this? Whatever you build for yourself, when you die with those things. But whatever you build for your people, when you are no more, those things, they remain. Give that type of a service. To say, I want to give a service so that even when I am no more, my work will remain. I'm not going to mention some products that we have in the country or in the world. But you know that there are other products that when you buy them, maybe let me just give these guys a credit, because I've been using this for the past 15 years, this one, for the past 15 years. There are some gadgets that I have used before this one. I don't know the engine in that gadget, it was what. But some of them, you are so concerned, even when you buy a watch, you are not sure it's an engine or it's a fly that is in the inside, and the moment it dies, everything it dies. But give a service that even when you are no more, like the founder of this gadget, he's not alive, but he continues to serve his people. Let me conclude with these two statements. It's not where you are today that counts. It's where you are headed. That is why I'm saying celebrate for a moment, because it's not where you are that counts. It's where you are headed. Let me also add, it's not where you are headed. It's what you leave behind. Your children, your grandchildren, what are you leaving for them? The second quote, ladies and gentlemen, there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. There's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Unfortunately, our generations, they just want to take an elevator to success. I have seen that everywhere. Even the church pastors, they just want to take an elevator. Because it's the generation. In politics, they just want to take an elevator and then you are successful. You have to take the stairs. And it's not going to be easy, but you know it's for the good cause. Don't rush by taking the stairs, the lift. Take the stairs. If Dubai have done it with the resources that they have, let us not just reject them and say they've got oil now. They only had two resources: water and the desert. And they've demonstrated leadership in the past few days. They've demonstrated leadership like never before. What a shock when we were concerned that we cannot pay for the hotels. We are stuck in their country. And we got a message that fear not, wherever you are, the government will cater for everything. We will pay for our people, for all the people who are in the hotel. We got more comfort from them than our people. But let me also give abantu baseSwatini, because while we were there, our Ingosi ithumele plane. The king sent a plane to come and fetch his own citizens. And we're still waiting. God bless you.